Stage 4 cancer thrivers are rewriting the rules. And here's how you can too. In this video, I'm showing you exactly what to do if you've been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. It's time to take your power back. I know that being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer was a shock. It might even be feeling like a death sentence. But stop right there. There are so many women who thrive for decades after this type of diagnosis. Here's exactly what you can do next. When most people hear stage 4 cancer, their mind immediately goes to the worst place. They think it's a death sentence, but it doesn't have to be. I've worked with so many women who were diagnosed with stage 4 cancer 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years ago, and they're still here. They're living full, beautiful lives. They're working, they're traveling, they're celebrating birthdays, they're watching their grandkids grow up. And while not every story is the same, the truth is that stage 4 cancer can be treated. It's often looked at as a chronic condition, not a terminal one. Now, I want to acknowledge something important. Yes, women still die from stage 4 cancer. We cannot ignore that. Cancer is frightening and unpredictable and full of unknowns. Stage 4 thrivers deserve more. There are outcomes we cannot always control. But what I want to open up for you today is a space where other possibilities exist too. The very real possibility of living well and living longer, even thriving after your diagnosis. I remember when I was first diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, I was terrified of a recurrence. I thought it would mean the end. I thought once it spread, there would be nothing left to do. But that's not what the research or what real life shows us anymore. Research has advanced, so there are treatment strategies that can often stabilize you long term. Some are even managed like high blood pressure or diabetes, carefully managed, well controlled, and compatible with real life. But here's something your oncologist might not explain. Many doctors avoid diving too deeply into using the terminology stage 4. And it's because stage 4 as a diagnosis is not very straightforward. There is not just one kind of stage 4 cancer. There are many. Some types are highly aggressive, and others are slow growing and more treatable. In some cases, stage 4 can still be curative. That's right. Curative. For certain cancers with limited metastases or limited spread, treatment can completely eliminate detectable disease. For others, the goal is long-term control, keeping the cancer stable and quiet for as long as possible. This is why two people with the same stage 4 diagnosis can have two completely different outcomes. But it's not just about the number. It's about the biology of your cancer and your overall health. It's also about how you support your body through treatment. What really separates those who do really well on treatment and those who are challenged or struggled isn't the treatment itself. It's what they do between the treatments. It's how they eat, how they move, how they support their body. I've seen this pattern again and again. The women who take an active role in their health, they often tolerate their treatments better. They recover faster. They have fewer side effects. And this is critical. Many people believe that when you're stage 4, the cancer treatment can just stop working. But that's not always what happens. In reality, it's more common that your body can't take the treatment anymore. The side effects are too severe, so you have to reduce the dose or stop completely. We see this all the time. A medication might be helping to control your cancer beautifully, but the side effects like hand-foot syndrome or liver toxicity or heart toxicity is just too severe. Or maybe your blood counts just drop too low and your oncologist has no choice but to stop your treatment because it's too dangerous. Most commonly, we'll see dose reductions, and sometimes that's enough to keep going, but other times the side effects are just life-threatening. That's why it's so important to be preventative and proactive in your approach. We can prevent or minimize side effects through nutrition, movement, hydration, supplement, low-tox living. And if you can minimize or eliminate the side effects, you can stay on treatment for longer. The longer you stay on treatment safely, the more opportunity the medication is giving your body to heal. Then you can stabilize and thrive. One of the biggest mistakes I see among stage 4 thrivers is that they wait until things get really bad before they ask for help. They wait until the fatigue is crushing, or the pain is unmanageable, or until they've lost so much weight they just can't keep up with their treatment. But recovery and resilience, they do not start when things fall apart. They start now. You cannot afford to be reactive with an advanced cancer. You need to be proactive, preventative, strategic. The same way your oncologist plans your treatment, you need help planning your nutrition, your movement, and your mindset. It needs to be done with precision, with strategy. Okay, but let's talk about your nutrition for a moment, because this is far more powerful than anyone could ever realize. Your side effects depend heavily on what you eat. Fatigue, nausea, muscle loss, brain fog, they can all be made better or worse through nutrition. The food you eat influences your immune system and your inflammation, your gut health, and even how well medications work inside your body. Let me give you an example. A woman that I work with inside the Cancer Freedom Program, she's a metastatic breast cancer thriver. Her name's Lisa. She was on targeted therapy and challenged with relentless fatigue. She had a terrible appetite, and she was convinced that it was her treatment to blame. But when we reviewed her nutritional intake, she was getting about half of the calories her body truly needed. We adjusted her nutrition, we prioritized high protein, we stabilized her blood sugar, and within 3 weeks, her energy was significantly better. Her oncologist didn't change a single thing. There were no changes in her medication or the dose, but her body handled the treatment so much better. That is the power of nutrition. Now, it's tempting to think that cancer-free is the only marker of survivorship, but that's not true. A cancer survivor, by definition, is anyone who has been diagnosed with cancer, whether you're in treatment or remission or living with metastatic disease. You're a cancer survivor. If you're stage 4 thriver and you still have cancer in your body, you're still a survivor. You've endured the diagnosis and the treatment and everything that comes along with it. You fought through fear and uncertainty. You're surviving every single day. Now, whether you choose to use survivor or not is totally up to you. Sometimes people find that word empowering. Others think of themselves as thrivers or simply people living with cancer. The label doesn't matter. But what I want you to know is you don't have to earn the title survivor. It's already yours. Now, if you're on lifelong treatment, this is for you. I want you to shift how you see it. Think of it not as a burden, but as a gift. It's easy to focus on pills and infusions and side effects, but just think for a moment what it would be like if you could take just one tablet a day to control your cancer and it had no side effects. It kept your cancer completely stable. That would feel like a miracle. And here's the thing, we're a lot closer to that than you think. Every year, there's new treatments and new developments. There's more targeted and personalized medicine that's even more effective. They're designed to keep the cancer quiet, controlled, and not progressing. And many of my colleagues working in oncology research are looking at just this, working on therapies that they can give to stage 4 thrivers, working on therapies that make stage 4 cancer something you can live with, not die from. Now, I know it's not easy to think about it this way. Some days the fear creeps in. The scans, the blood work, the waiting. It can feel like your whole life is just on pause. But your life is not on pause. You still have power. You still have choices. What you do with your nutrition, your movement, your mindset, this all matters so much more than you realize. Now, I often tell the clients that work with me that your oncologist is in charge of controlling your cancer, but you are in charge of controlling your body. Your job is to make your body and your system more resilient. That way, you're going to get through treatment easier. You're going to have fewer complications. This means fueling yourself properly, building lean muscle mass, staying hydrated, and most importantly, managing your stress. But do not wait for the car to run out of gas before you refill it. You don't want your house to flood before you fix a leak in the roof. And the same goes for your body. Don't wait until the side effects are so severe to ask for support. The earlier you act, the more control you have. I want you to start seeing your health as this long-term game. Think about, just for a moment, what kind of life you want 10 years from now. I know when you get caught up in this cancer space, it's hard to think that way, but just give yourself permission for a moment. Maybe you're still receiving treatment, but maybe you're not. But you're strong, you're independent, you're surrounded by the people you love. You're still showing up consistently for the things that matter to you the most. That's absolutely possible for you. You deserve to thrive no matter what stage of cancer you are. Thrive, not just survive. And thriving begins with being informed, proactive, and strategic. So look, stage 4 cancer, this is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a different chapter, one where you can take your power back one decision at a time. If you're ready to see what's truly possible for your body and for your recovery, well, then click the link here. I'm going to show you exactly what to do next. Click the link here, and I'll see you in the next video.